Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do another Friday faves and fails. I actually do have a couple of fails that I want to talk about and some kind of like, I'm going to kick off with the I kind of like it, I'm not sure. And one of those things is the lipstick I'm wearing right now. This is the Nars Power Matte Pigment. And the shade is Under My Thumb. I have another one I purchased very recently. I think it's called American Woman. I was looking for a neutral. I wore it in a few vlogs and got lots of questions. And I bought it specifically because I was looking for a good neutral lip to wear under masks, because when we go into America, depending on what state you visit currently, will depend on what the rules are. But because we're visiting New York, there is a mask mandate. If there is still a mask mandate when we go to Vegas in January, I want to be kind of covered. So I'm trying to test out all of the different lipsticks right now. I wasn't super bothered wearing masks in the UK in terms of makeup. I will wear no makeup whatsoever 90% of the time. And when you've got no makeup on, a mask is really not a problem. But when you are wearing makeup, you want to make sure that that makeup's going to look okay when you take off the mask. Long story short, I revisited these. In my memory, it wasn't fantastic. I don't reach for this very often because I thought, again, in my mind, this was super, super dark and just like I bought it and it was a mistake. And then I saw the other shades in store. Bought it from Flannels and Meadowhall, and I was swatching them and I just thought it was so beautiful. It was such a gorgeous kind of minky neutral. I gave it a go and really, really liked it. And I think that the key is you have to be very, very light-handed with these. So I'll give you an example on the back of my hand and this will just not come off. They're super, super, they're kind of like inky. Do you remember those? I don't know if they still do them, but YSL did like an ink. It kind of reminds me of that, but they're very pigmented. Like that is just a small amount. Now you can sheer them out, of course. I could do this and just kind of like, but they're very, very dry. They are a power matte pigment. I'm going to leave that to dry for a second and then I'm going to layer it up and I'm going to show you what I was talking about, because as it is right now, it's a really gorgeous colour, perfect for this season, and it should stay on relatively well. It is a matte liquid lip, so you're still going to get that thing where it wears away from the middle. It's not completely indelible, but it is one of the better ones that I've tried. If you go for a darker colour like this, it's going to be all the more obvious when it does wear away, if it doesn't look that fantastic. But if you are looking for something to wear underneath the mask, it is smudge proof, so you're not going to end up with it all over your face. As long as you've waited, I'd say a good 10 minutes from applying it to putting anything over the top of it, it needs a good amount of time to dry, set, and then it is on. While I'm waiting for this to do its thing, I'm going to move on to the other. This is the OPI Gel Break. I really, really like this. I do. I'm wearing it right now. It's a really nice neutral. The colour is too tantalising. I wanted something that was just easy. I could apply it. My nails would look slightly more polished, but if it chipped, it wouldn't look too bad. And this is called Gel Break because it is supposed to be formulated to help to strengthen your nails while they're having a break from gels. The problem I have with it is it chips really, really quickly. It's actually supposed to be step 2 of 3. So it's supposed to be a base coat and a top coat, and this is sandwiched in between. If I wanted to do that, I'd just paint my nails normally. The idea for this, for me, is that it keeps them polished while keeping them a little bit stronger before I have my acrylics done again in however long. It all depends on whether or not I can actually make time for the appointment. That's the only reason that I've stopped having my acrylics, was I just could never slot in that time for the appointment as and when she's open. It's just, you know, champagne problems, but that's why. So I was doing this in between and I'm just kind of getting a little bit irritated with it because as soon as I put it on, it chips. But then at the same time, the reason that I love acrylics is because all nail polish chips on me so quickly. Even gel peels off like almost immediately. And so I can't really blame the formula. I just wish it was like some kind of magic where it didn't chip. That's really all. So I really, really like it. But I do have problems, but the problems aren't necessarily the fault of the product. Let's return to this. So normally with a liquid lip, I would put it on and I might put like a layer on and then just like go back over and make sure. With this, I take this out and this is the entire amount of product that I'm going to put on my lips. So I need to just kind of like stretch that out, make sure that I get all of it covered. Someone's at the door. Tell me I do not have the best neighbour in the world. She's just turned up with this. How cool is this? So I've seen these before on Amazon and never bought one for myself, but she said when she bought one, she couldn't not buy me one. How gorgeous, but also how lovely of her. And then it also has a lid. It has a lid. It has a lid that could also be a coaster. Best neighbour ever. Anyway, as I was saying, where did it go? Right, so pulled the thing out and I used that for all of my lips. And it's got like 4 sides to it, so it works pretty well. You don't really need any more than that. And that is as thin a layer as you need. Any more than that, and it's going to crumble. It's not going to It's not going to last as long as you want it to. And I don't even know if you can tell on camera, but it's much darker. And the texture of it is like, can you see the difference in colour? The texture of it is much thicker. It's just not what you need. It's not what you want. It is not what you're going to expect from the product from Nars. And so if you have this and you're like, oh, this is terrible, and you've written it off, like I did. Or if you're thinking about it, but you're not 100% sure, I would say it is super, super, super matte. That might not be for you. You are going to have to keep an eye on it because if you're, I was going to say, if you're a lip licker, where I do that. And I'm not sure whether or not it's just because it's such a dry formula that you're like, the instinct is just like, you know, wet your lips. Oh man, this is all terrible. But it is. Anyway, it's going to wear away in middle. It does always. God, all of this is an innuendo, but there is an optimum way to use it. That was a very long-winded thing, just about one product. Another disappointing product. I had this a little while ago. Didn't really like it. Don't even know if I mentioned it. And then L'Oreal sent me another one and I thought, I'll try it again. I mean, it's still relatively new. I bought it to try this year. And I really don't like it. I don't really understand it. It's the Volume Million Lashes Balm Noir. Historically, I love the Volume Million Lashes range. This is, well, it's called Balm Noir. It's a black balm. That's all it is. So I'm obviously not going to put this on my eyelashes right now, but you can kind of see, I wonder if I can get my face out of it. Can you tell the texture from that? Maybe not, but it's a very large brush, like a very long brush, which is unusual. And then let me show you maybe on the back of my hand. Let's see. So it's not, you're not really going to be able to get a vibe of texture, are you? Because what does normal mascara look like on the back of a hand? I don't know, but it is balmy and it's not really, well, I mean, even there you can see it's not very black. It's just kind of, it's more of a kind of balmy coating for your eyelashes rather than a regular mascara. And I think this would probably be, I can only imagine this has been marketed at, you know, like we've been home all of this time, everyone's into the no makeup look. If you just want a little bit of something, you know, the Lumen sheer skin tint thing, the fresh skin tint, this, tiny bits of like creamy colour, tinted lip balm. I think that's what this has been designed for. I think that's what we're marketing it towards. It's not comparable to a normal mascara in my opinion. Another quick win for this, I just went and soaped up the back of my hand just to get rid of all of that black, and the lip is still there. I mean, I didn't scrub, I just literally soaped all the back of my hand and it's still pretty much perfect. It's good stuff. It's good stuff as long as we're using it in the right way. Right, I have a couple of glitters that I want to share with you. I think I share these same things every year. At least for the past 2 or 3 years I've been using these. I don't use glitter a lot, but when I do, it tends to be these 2 products. One is a lot more expensive than the other, and we'll start there. This is a Chanel, I think it's called the Ombre Illusion, or Illusion d'Ombre, apologies. Bearing in mind that I wear this so sparingly, and I have brought it out year after year. I mean, I want to say I bought this before we moved to this house, and it still works perfectly well. It's not really moussey. It's kind of it was quite a firm product anyway to begin with. And so I'm sure it, like, I don't know if you can hear that. It's definitely like shrunken in the packaging. And it's like not quite as, it's probably not as moist as wet. I don't know. We're going in that direction clearly today, but it's not quite the same as it used to be. You know, when you've got like a cream or a moussey type product, it tends to kind of slightly harden and then it moves around in the packaging, but it still works absolutely fine, is what I'm trying to say. I'm still using this, and although it's do you know what it reminds me of? The MAC paint pots. So you can see inside maybe if it ever focuses, that there's like an edge around it. That wasn't what I meant to do, but it did prove my point. I actually don't know why I've just washed my hands because I'm going to have to do it again now anyway. Right, so I'm just slightly touching it. It's not, I don't have to like massively rub my finger into this or anything. It's kind of almost like somewhere between a cream and a pressed pigment. It's not a pressed pigment because it doesn't go everywhere. That's a major thing for me with glitter. Is it going to end up down my face? Neither of these products do. But it's not a pressed pigment. It's very much like a cream, but it almost acts like a pressed pigment. So it's like, it's somewhere between like a metallic and just pure glitter. And if you, I mean, you would imagine this would be super, super dark. I've worn this quite a bit recently. You would imagine it would be super dark on the skin, but just wait, because I want to get a good sunlight so you can see the sparkle really well. Oh, look at that. Because this lighting over here is not doing it any justice. There we go. Whatsoever. The sparkle is so fine, just so, so tiny. And you just put a little on your eyes. And this is like a beautiful smoky eye. A little on your eyes, and every time you move, it's just a little sparkle, a little sparkle. You can layer it up and get it quite dark on the lid, but you can also just kind of sheer it across, and I think I've spoken enough about it. It lasts a really long time. It's not terrible for creasing. And obviously year after year, I bring that out. For as much as I use of it, I don't think I'll ever need to buy another one. I'm tempted to buy a different tone because that is kind of like a purpley, silvery glitter, and I'd quite like more of a bronzy glitter. So I'm tempted just because I'm really happy with how it's held up and how beautiful it is on the lids. Another alternative, if you want something cheaper, you can basically put on top of anything, is this Urban Decay Space Cowboy eyeshadow. And I think, was it called Stardust or Moondust? I can't remember. Anyway, it looks like this. Again, doesn't look like much of anything apart from like maybe a metallic shadow. Then put it on your finger. I wouldn't recommend using a brush for this because it's going to be nuts. Again, I don't find this to be an all over my face kind of thing at all. This is like next level though. That's like, you know, like the glass look people are going for. This is such a weird angle. As if you've like buffed your skin into like a shine. Anyway, same difference when you put it onto your skin. Oh, it's so beautiful. Can you see that there? I'm trying to get you in the sunlight. Put it onto the skin and it's just this gorgeous amount of sparkle, and that looks like nothing, like on the skin from a distance, not a lot of anything, and then you start moving and it's this like wet look sparkle. And I use this as a topper. I'm actually wearing it today, but I don't even know if you can tell because I need to get so close to the camera and the camera's quite far away from me. Anyway, I'm wearing it today as just like on its own, but you can wear this as a topper to anything. So if you do a smoky eye, if you do you know, colours, whatever, I would just put a little bit of this on my finger and just press it over the top. Perfect. Do that before you do your setting spray and I think you're going to love it. But these are two that I would not be without. I'm not super into glitter. I like a glitter eyeliner because again, I don't find that falls all over my face. But if you're looking for some really subtle wearable glitter, I mean, I have a whole video about this if you're interested. But nice for the festive season and not kind of too in your face. Both of these are just pretty. Honestly, I had so many more things to talk about, but I felt like we just went too long with everything this week. I am going to mention very briefly, I'm reacquainted with my Switch because Animal Crossing has a new update. It also had a new expansion pack, and I've fully fallen back in love with escapism via my tropical island on Animal Crossing. It is, I mean, you can watch videos about it. It sounds like a kid's game. It could be a kid's game for sure, but it's definitely created as an escapism game for adults, 100%. You're like creating your island, you're planting, every day something new happens, and you're just like really methodically clearing things and organising things and moving things around. And if you know me at all, you will know that is very much my vibe. And when I'm stressed out, I like to move things. I mean, as it is right now, I can't show you the rest of this room because it's such a mess. I have to, as soon as I finish filming this video, I need to sort it out. But in my fake world of Animal Crossing, everything's beautiful. And I don't have to put away my clothes. I can just plant flowers and just make everything perfect. If you are into gaming, I mean, I love a handheld game. That's definitely my favourite. If you are into gaming and maybe you haven't done it in a while, maybe you would like to become reacquainted with a handheld console because you also feel like a little bit of escapism might be needed, can't recommend the Switch enough. We've got the regular Switch that you put on your TV, and I got the Switch Lite for myself, and honestly, this is enough. I mean, if you've got the extra, whatever it is, £100 to get the one that you can put on the TV, get that, because there's loads more stuff you can do with it. You can play 2-player games. You can, if you want to go and put it on the TV, you can. It is nice to be able to do that. And you can obviously play other things together. So that's a nice thing. And you're already spending a certain amount of money. All of the games cost the same amount of money. So it's just the initial outlay. So if you can, spring for the larger one. But if you are planning on playing only yourself, if you're not ever thinking you're going to play with someone else, wow, then the Switch Lite is enough. And I love it. And it would be a good time because, almost Black Friday, almost Christmas. Ask for it from Santa. It's a good call. Right, I'm going to go. Thanks so much for watching. I'll be back on Sunday. I think it's going to be a Primark haul or a shop with me. I haven't decided which one I'm going to edit for you first. But if you haven't already and you have made it all the way to the end of this video, you may enjoy my daily vlogs. I'm doing a Vlogmas Eve all throughout November, vlogging every single day, so I will link that for you below. And I will see you guys next time. Bye!